Hi, it's Karen again. I'm here today with another video, and today's topic that I want to cover is self-improvement. And these are some of the things that I've been working on and trying to do to help improve, just get my life back in order. I'm kind of going through a midlife reset, not a crisis, but just kind of a reset, a transformation, and it's kind of been brought on by a chronic illness I've been dealing with. So some of the things that I've been focusing on for my personal self improvement is one of the things is stop trying to control everything. And this is human nature. We have our little environment and we try to take control of it. But life has a funny way of intervening. You're not always going to have that control that you want to have. And for me, I find the best thing to do is just kind of let go, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. We can't really control everything. We can't. That's the world playing out. It's life playing out. So we do the best that we can to live in the situation that's happening. Um, you're just going to just protect your mental health and emotional balance, and just doing that rather than trying to control it, and getting all stressed out. I think we've all been there. Another thing I like to focus on is, you know, what can I do right now, do today. I'm not trying to get everything done in one day or in just a couple of hours like I used to. Hustle, hustle, hustle. That just wore me down. Just putting all these expectations on myself. So little things matter more. Picking up around the house, doing a few dishes. And if I can see those small steps and improvements, that helps me push on through the day, because, things are not the same as they were when I was 25 years old. um, Another thing that I like to keep in mind is to accept that progress, it's not going to come overnight. It's a slow process. So it's not a magic trick. Progress is slow, but if you keep at it, things will change. Things will go in your favor. Just small little improvements, all the time, and you'll eventually get to your goal. So stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Just kick back a little bit, allow things to happen, and take your time. It's going to get done one way or another. Just allow it. Just let go and allow. Those are things I'm trying to learn to do. It's not always easy, this self improvement game, but if you play it out, it does seem to help. And then the more you practice it, the better you're gonna feel and be, and all this good stuff. I also like to these days choose peace over proving my point, and I was not ever the one to sit there and debate. That's just not me. If you want to sit there and tell me all these false things about fitness that I know are different, I'm not going to argue with you. I'll tell you my input, and if you want to keep fighting me, I'm just not going to. I never was on that. I'm just not a big debater. And even in disagreements, yeah, you want to get your point across, but sometimes, is it worth it? It just kind of keeps wanting to cycle around, and you just never really get anywhere. So, letting go and just allowing it to be what it's going to be. Does it really matter to get your point proven? You know what it is. What does it matter what anyone else thinks? That's just my opinion. That's just what I have to do to improve myself. It works for me. Maybe some of this will work for you. Another thing is to measure my success by peace and not pressure. So I'm not hustling against the clock and deadlines and all this anymore. Not that they're not there, but I'm not killing myself anymore. Is it worth it? No. I mean, these the pressure that we put on ourselves in today's society just really isn't worth it. We're killing ourselves. You really have to step back and reevaluate, think, let go. That's the biggest thing. Let go and just allow. Um, yeah, I mean, that may sound like I'm off my rocker. I know. If I heard this, 5, 10 years ago, I would have too. But I am going through this. This is the only way that I'm going to get through this illness that I'm going through and get my life back. So these are the things that I'm doing for self-improvement. I find that they're effective and they help me. And, maybe you'll get some use out of them. So I'm going to leave it at that. So as always, I am doing my best and things are getting better. And I hope that they are for you too. Thank you for tuning in.